Alright, what's up guys? I'm sure you heard the news by now, so I won't go over it. Eric Bledsoe and the Suns are looking to mutually part ways, so the Suns are looking to trade him. In addition to these top 7 destinations for Eric Bledsoe, I will be adding 3 other teams that I've seen people talk about on social media, but for one reason or another, I don't think it's actually realistically possible. So, the first of those 3 teams, Oklahoma City Thunder. Now this comes down to a couple factors. Number 1, they can't trade away Roberson or Patterson because they just signed them to extensions. They're not trading away Paul George or Steven Adams. The Suns don't want Carmelo Anthony, so the best deal they could give the Suns is Alex Abrines plus Kyle Singler plus some other picks and some other young players, but their picks aren't that good. I don't see anyone on the Oklahoma City Thunder that the Suns would want, that the Thunder would be willing to give up. And the second of those teams, the New Orleans Pelicans. Now this comes down to 2 things. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Pelicans don't have any young player to offer the Suns, and plus there's a very questionable fit. This is a team that just recently signed point guard Jameer Nelson, and when you add Bledsoe to this team, you basically have a roster of Rajon Rondo, Drew Holiday, E'Twaun Moore, Jameer Nelson, Ian Clark. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. This team needs a small forward. They need a wing player. They don't really need Eric Bledsoe. The third team that is pretty unlikely, but people have been talking about a little bit, are the San Antonio Spurs. This comes down to the fact that they've just recently re-signed or extended LaMarcus Aldridge and Paul Gasol. They can't trade away those guys, so they would either have to trade away Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, or Danny Green to make the math work. Obviously, they're not trading away Kawhi, they're not trading away Tony Parker. They could trade away Danny Green, but then again, if you're the Phoenix Suns, Danny Green is 30 years old. Why do you want Danny Green on the team? And plus, the Spurs don't have a great draft pick to offer them because the Spurs are going to be a playoff team every single year for the near future, so their picks aren't that valuable anyways. Alright, now for the actual 7 teams that I think have a chance at getting Bledsoe, they're divided into 2 tiers. The first tier are the 3 teams that I think really have a good shot at getting Bledsoe. They're the teams that have been rumored already to have reached out to the Suns and potentially grabbing Eric Bledsoe. The other 4 teams are outsiders that kind of have a shot at getting Bledsoe, but there has to be a lot of maneuvering or there has to be a change of hearts from some team. There just has to be a lot to happen. So I'll talk about the less likely 4 teams first of all. Number 1 on this list are the Orlando Magic. Now the big thing with this team is, first of all, how badly do they want to try to make the playoffs? And because Eric Bledsoe is 27 years old. The second thing mainly is that they would have to give up Elfrid Payton in order to get Eric Bledsoe. If you're the Orlando Magic, do you want to do that? I think the Suns would be happy getting Elfrid Payton in exchange for Eric Bledsoe, but I don't think the Magic would do it. The second team I want to talk about are the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now of course the Cavs, when they still had Kyrie Irving on the team, they actually reached out to the Suns about a potential Eric Bledsoe for Kyrie Irving deal. The trade reportedly fell through because the Suns were unwilling to include Josh Jackson in the deal. To make the math work, the Cleveland Cavaliers, assuming they don't trade Kevin Love or Tristan Thompson because they still need their big man, the Cavaliers would have to package together Channing Frye plus Iman Shumpert, but they would also have to include that Brooklyn Nets pick. The issue I have with this is that I feel like the Cavs could get better value for that Brooklyn Nets pick. Because again, Eric Bledsoe, much like with the New Orleans Pelicans, doesn't really fit this Cavs team. This is a team that already has Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, you still have Isaiah Thomas when he potentially comes back healthy. Eric Bledsoe for sure is a better player than Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade, but it might make a lot more sense for the Cavs to wait on that pick and see what else they can get them a couple months down the line when we reach the trade deadline. The third dark horse team are the Los Angeles Clippers. Now this is due to a combination of reasons. Number 1, we just had the report that Milos Teodosic is going to be out indefinitely with a foot injury. That reduces the guard depth of the Clippers. But the big obstacle that is preventing this from happening is that Austin Rivers will most likely have to be included to make this deal work. And the question is Doc Rivers gonna allow the Clippers GM or the Clippers front office to trade away his son to a different team? And also the Philadelphia 76ers. Now there have not been any reports of the Sixers contacting the Suns about trading for Eric Bledsoe, but on paper there is a trade that could make a lot of sense for both teams. The Sixers would probably give up some combination of Jared Bayless and Jahlil Okafor in exchange for Eric Bledsoe. Now the Suns are definitely in the market for a center, and Jahlil Okafor at this point is very clearly not a part of this team's future. Now the interesting thing is, the Sixers also have a ton of cap space. The Phoenix Suns are looking to offload Tyson Chandler's contract. The Sixers might actually be one of the few teams that could actually pull it off. Alright, now on to the juicy part of this video, which are the 3 teams that I think actually legitimately have a shot at landing Eric Bledsoe. The first of those teams are the New York Knicks. Now Ian Begley has already reported that the Knicks have reached out to the Phoenix Suns, and it sounds like the Suns in return want Willie Hernangomez, and Frank Ntilikina. The big question for the Knicks is, if they go through with this deal, how soon do they think they are to contending? Because it doesn't seem like they're very close to that point just yet. And again, Eric Bledsoe is 27 years old. He's entering his prime right now, but in about 3 or 4 years, he's going to be exiting his prime. So if you're the Knicks and you're trading for Bledsoe and you're trading away a young point guard with some potential, then you're basically saying that we're trying to at least get into contention or become really good in 3 to 4 years. And the further reason why the Knicks are a pretty likely destination is that they could do a lot with their roster. They have a lot of tradable pieces, with players making from anywhere $12 million to $7 million. They perfectly match the salary situation that it would require to get Eric Bledsoe. And they're actually one of the few teams in the NBA with a lot of uncertainty at their point guard position. Now, the second team on this list are the Milwaukee Bucks. And again, it has already been reported that the Bucks are reaching out to the Phoenix Suns about Eric Bledsoe. Now, what the Bucks would give up in return is really up in the air. I think if the Bucks are willing to include Malcolm Brogdon in the deal, then the Phoenix Suns would probably accept that deal. But the Bucks really like Brogdon as a player. He's just in his second year, even though he is a really old rookie. Still, I think the Bucks would try to avoid including Brogdon in the deal. But if they don't, then who is it gonna be? Are they willing to include Thon Maker? And again, the Phoenix Suns are looking for probably two things, either young players or draft picks. And a slight third alternative would be looking to dump some of their bad contracts, including Tyson Chandler. But the Bucks are highly motivated to get Eric Bledsoe. This is a very well-rounded offensive player who could fit really nicely next to Giannis while keeping their defensive identity as a whole team. And again, they have what the Phoenix Suns are looking for, which are young players and some future assets. And finally, the third team that has a good chance at getting Eric Bledsoe are the Denver Nuggets. Again, reports have already come out that the Nuggets are looking to contact the Phoenix Suns about Eric Bledsoe. Rumors have also come out that over the summer, the Nuggets already engaged them in trade talks involving Eric Bledsoe. So the two teams already have a platform to work upon. Now, the package would likely be some combination of Emmanuel Mudiay plus Kenneth Faried plus maybe a first-round pick. This is a team that, if they get Eric Bledsoe, could actually vault into the contention of getting a top 4 seed in the West. And they're one of the rare contending teams that doesn't have a great player or a good thing at the point guard position. They recently waived Jameer Nelson. Emmanuel Mudiay has been a little shaky in his starts. Jamal Murray, not really a traditional point guard. And on the other hand, Emmanuel Mudiay is only 21 years old. While he's been really disappointing in his first couple seasons in the league, there's no doubting that he still has potential, and his age fits the timeline super well with the Suns' young players. Alright, that's it for today's video. Go ahead, comment down below, what do you think is Eric Bledsoe's most likely trade destination? What's the most likely scenario that comes out of this fiasco? I just gotta say, as an NBA fan, I love the fact that we already have trade rumors going on so early in the season. Mwah! God bless the NBA. But also, if this is your first time watching this channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. I got NBA videos coming out all season long. I'm gonna be covering trade rumors, covering trade recaps, talking about anything that would interest you if you are an NBA fan or if you follow the NBA. So click that subscribe button down below. Other than that, I'm MDJ. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.